Rarely has mankind hesitated to eradicate the creatures that stand in the path of his conquest. If we find intelligent species, ritual extraterrestrials, undesirable invaders from another world, they must be destroyed if possible in our dark past. Watch out and pray.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our podcast, Close Encounters of the Podcast Kind, episode 4. My name is Alex Tasker, and I'm here with our resident supernatural expert, Nick.
There once was a loss in Scotland. I was going to do a limerick.
Yeah.
Let me try that again.
Okay.
There once was a lass named Sue. She lived in Scots, but also was a Jew. She lit her menorah, said didn't want to bore ya, so she cooked up some beef haggis stew.
That was actually really good.
Hey, thank you.
I'm really impressed. That ended up how it ended up. Good
thank
job,
you.
man. Yeah.
I try.
Yeah. When's the children's book coming out?
Oh, it's coming out in May.
Okay.
I'm looking for an artist still that is willing to draw the things that I want drawn.
What kind of sick power play is that? It's staring me right in the eye while you say that. Monster.
Earn your money, damn it. Earn it.
I will try. But as you guys know, we have a little bit of a jump in quality. We just got our new setup, so hopefully you enjoy it as much as we do. And on top of that, today, as we know with our podcast, we travel to all different parts of the planet. And we are, as you heard from Nick's wonderful limerick, going to Scotland.
Aye, lass, yeah. Lasses and lads, we're going to Scotland today. You guys ready to take a trip with me?
Well, ready or not.
Grab your paddles and your boats. We're going into the waters of all the lochs and rivers of Scotland.
Oh,
Guess
boy.
what we're going over today?
No, let me guess. Loch Ness Monster?
No, close, lad.
Some kind of sea creature.
Yes, actually, we're going over
The Kelpie.
the Kelpie.
Yeah, this thing is interesting. I feel like I've been seeing it a little bit more than usual. Like, it's kind of this is one of those I never really heard about it until like a month ago, and then suddenly now I'm seeing it everywhere. I'm sure there's a name for that kind of thing.
Do you remember at the beginning when we started doing this podcast, you would talk about how you were a big scaredy cat with all this stuff?
Yes, yeah.
I'm going to be a big ol' pussy today because the Kelpie involves two things that I really don't like. Okay, horses and water. They're two things that I do not enjoy.
Oh,
Combined into one folkloric tale, and it's going to be quite frightening.
yeah. I don't blame you on the horses thing. Those things are giant, and that one, it's like basically a one punch man if it kicks you in the face, right?
It's over. I'm sure we've all seen countless videos on the internet of idiots getting kicked by horses. Normally because they did something to the horse.
Yeah, most of the time they did have it coming, kind of, right?
Exactly. All right. So you want to get into it?
Yes, because I actually have to leave for work very soon.
Yes. Believe it or not, this is not our full-time job.
Yeah, it would be nice, though. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
All right. So the Kelpie, also known as a water horse, is a legendary shape-shifting creature of Celtic Scottish origin that most often takes the form of a great black horse. They reside in and around the rivers and lochs of Scotland, luring anyone who dares come close into the water never to return.
Now, drowning is a horrible way to go. Any way you look at it.
Awful way. It doesn't matter if you're in a swimming pool. It doesn't matter if you're getting dragged in by a Kelpie. Either way, it fucking sucks.
So that's the thing with these things, though, is they lure you and pull you in, and they just drag you down and eat you, or
we'll get it. There's not a lot of details on what they do to you once you're there, but we can definitely get into that.
Okay. Is this a type of creature that Aquaman could control?
You know what? I don't think so. I think and you know why? Is because Aquaman has to communicate with the creatures he controls. I don't think he can understand what the Kelpie is saying, unfortunately.
Okay, because Kelpies, it's not a fish.
It's not a fish. The Kelpie is actually a demonic water sprite, like a spirit.
Oh, okay.
But I'm saying that he probably can't understand because it's just like a lot of this. It's like Aquaman's like, I need you to go and save that girl over there. And he's like, Oi, fuck you, lad. You can't tell me what to do, can't. I'm coming over here looking to get you in the fucking water. Like that. You can't understand a word he's saying, you know? But yeah.
So the Kelpie is the Scottish accent of the sea.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, God.
Absolutely. All right. So, yes, he is a demonic water sprite. And just like a little clarification about what a sprite is, it's
Not a drink.
not a drink, even though it sounds like a really good one right now.
I know.
They're essentially like supernatural beings that are like nymphs in a way, and they're kind of in like the fairy realm. They're like the fae realm, as they call it, and it's like they're not quite spirits. They're like mischievous or maleficent beings. There's like wood nymphs, if you've heard of those and stuff. We could probably do an episode on those, but it's like a spirit sprite type of deal.
Okay.
Some legends say that the true form of the Kelpie is like a scraggly white horse, and others say that due to shapeshifting and its shapeshifting nature, the true form is never known. So nobody really knows what a true form of a Kelpie looks like. There's no consensus on it.
So it's like Envy from Full Metal Alchemist.
I don't understand that reference.
Hopefully someone out there will, or we just lost our fifth fan.
Yeah, now we're back to 4. Okay, but it said in the Kelpie's true form, you can easily spot that something is not right and it's not a normal horse because the horse will always be slick with water. Mm-hmm. It will have a green shimmer to its whiteness due to algae growing on it. And it will have seaweed entangled throughout its mane and tail. And lastly, it will have a full set of razor-sharp teeth in its mouth.
Because horses usually, because they're herbivores, so usually they have the flat teeth and, the kind of almost comical, doofy appearance. But that thing opens up and it looks like that, that stuffed animal that looks cute, and then you hug it and then it gets the really like nasty, gnarled face,
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good representation of what to look out for. So that's actually, because, you might get close to it. You might start, wanting to pet it or something, which we'll get into later. Then all of a sudden you see a full set of razor sharp teeth, and horses are already horrifying. Add a razor sharp teeth and I'm fucking out.
I see. So it doesn't really bear the teeth until it's basically too late. That's sort of your
until it's too late to know.
Okay. So they're kind of smart.
Absolutely. Yeah. They're very cunning.
Ooh.
But the Kelpie, as stated earlier, is a shape-shifting creature, and it takes on many forms. There are 3 main ones that are used to its advantage in order to lure victims to certain death. Their favorite form to assume is that of a fierce black horse.
Right, the one you said.
Exactly. The horse will look completely normal except for one main difference that it cannot change, and that is that the hooves will be backwards.
That's so creepy.
It's horrifying. So if you're in Scotland and you're ever walking by a loch or a river and you see a horse with backwards hooves, you need to get the fuck out of there. Just, just leave Scotland in general. I mean, why are you still living there?
Well, I feel bad too, because what if, like, as a tourist, you walk over and, like, you're racist against Scots and you're just like, oh, like somebody was just too drunk and they put it on wrong or something like that. And at that point, I guess you could say you get what you deserve, huh, for judging people.
Yeah, you know what? That's a good moral. I like that. In this black horse form, the Kelpie will wait along the banks of bodies of water until a traveler passes by. In some cases, the traveler will pass and just thinking it's a wild horse, which is the smartest thing to do. Others will stop and approach the horse, often saying that they feel a force come over them that draws them to the horse.
Okay, so they kind of have a like a Slender Man kind of thing, where it has that that allure, where you're not, that psychological like grab on you, where you're not really sure why, but you're compelled to start like walking toward it.
Exactly. A lot of legends talk about how there is some kind of force and they want to go over and pet the horse, which is we're going to get into right now, which is a really bad idea.
Oh boy.
Once the horse has been approached, the traveler will reach out to calm or pet it. They will then find that they are unable to remove their hand from the horse. Some say this is due to a supernatural force keeping the hand attached, and others say this is because your hand literally becomes one with the flesh of the horse, like it starts melting into the horse, so you can't remove your hand. Those in tales who have escaped said they did it by having to cut off their own hand.
Oh, just like a regular 127 hours.
Like 127 hours, or like saw any of that. Anything where if you have the balls to cut your hand off, you probably live in Scotland.
Yep. And you deserve to survive that.
Yeah, good job.
Oh, man.
Once the Kelpie knows it has you, It beelines for the water, dragging you into the depths as you drown, and then devours you, except for your entrails, which it spits back onto the shore as a sign that it's there.
Well,
it does it on purpose. I know, isn't it?
So nice of them to leave at least a little bit of you back.
Yeah, here, I don't want these. Take these back.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to completely kill you. But yeah, I don't like these parts. These are gross.
Ew. Another form that the Kelpie frequents is that of either a ragged-looking man or a handsome young man with hooves for feet and seaweed entangled throughout his hair. It will wait for a traveler to come close to shore, then attack, dragging them into the watery depths, again, eating the person except for the innards. So there's like a pattern. It takes many forms to do the same thing, for the most part.
So it's a good multitasker.
Absolutely.
Oh, well, good for them.
The last form that the Kelpie takes has been known to take, is that of a beautiful woman, but it's very rare that they take this form. In the form, the Kelpie acts as a Scottish equivalent of a Greek siren. Like, do you know the myths of the siren from Greek mythology?
Yeah. It's like a mermaid, but they sing to you, and you're kind of caught up in the song, and then sailors would jump overboard and then get eaten.
Exactly. Yeah, it's
not in the way you're thinking. Not in the the Pornhub version.
You know what I mean?
Ew.
Yeah, no, it's not unlike that. It's definitely like that.
Oh no. So Greek siren, and but this is a more rare version. So
yes,
at least the Kelpie kind of has a sense of originality, which is good. We like seeing that in our supernatural creatures.
Yeah, exactly. And so they take the form of this beautiful young lass, and she'll be out in the fucking water over there, and all of a sudden you'll hear, "Hey, you over there! You want to come feel my titties?" And then some Scottish guy walking by is going to be like, "Yeah, I could go for some fucking tits right now." Starts walking towards the water. She's like, "Oh, look at my titties." You know what's weird is I don't know how to do like a female Scottish accent, but I can do like a male, like a regular one.
For a second, I thought that the lass was offering coffee on her titties. Was that what you said?
No. I just can't do the accent. I just can't do it in like a high-pitched voice for some reason.
Oh, man. I mean, I would be dead at the coffee. I mean, free coffee, dude.
Hey, that's how they get you.
That's true. So I'd be dead.
So anyway, the guy will go up, hoping to grab some bodacious mermaid boobs, and then just get dragged down, eaten, except for the innards, like usual.
Yeah. Leave out the gross parts.
Always leave out the gross parts.
Well, yeah, that's a lot like, cooking a turkey, you don't want to eat the innards.
Yeah, that's why we rip them out of its butt.
Yeah.
And then we throw it in the trash can. And they know we're going to do it because they take the time to get the giblets for us and just put them in a baggie.
Yeah, it's a nice, interesting ritual that we do as people.
Maybe we're the Kelpies.
Possibly. I mean, dude, we must look like demons to literally every animal on the planet.
Just eating all of them.
Yeah, exactly. And we just leave their corpses in our fridges and stuff. I mean, I'm not going to stop doing it because meat is delicious.
No, hell no. You'll never get me to stop eating meat. All right.
Yeah, same here. Honestly, I was going to say, I think I tried, but no. Actually, the reverse. There was the diet where I only ate meat for a while.
I'm still doing it.
Yeah. And how's life for you?
My heart palpitations are there, but other than that, everything is going great.
Oh, boy. So that being said, we're well aware that Kelpies are not vegans. They are, in fact, meat eaters, and they chew you up, spit out your guts, and all that stuff. Anything else we need to know to, keep ourselves safe?
You know what? Now that you mention it, there is some things you can do to keep yourself safe from the Scottish Kelpie.
Oh.
It is possible to kill it, but you have to use a silver bullet, not unlike a werewolf. There's no connection.
Nah, it's just sort of. There is a kind of. That's another thing. I always like to point out the consistencies of culture and stuff, and the strange importance of silver in defending yourself against evil. I thought that's very interesting. How we're going to be seeing a lot more of that.
Absolutely, and as we keep doing episodes on this podcast, silver in defense of yourself is going to come up a lot, and I think it has to do something with the purity of it, but that we can definitely do some research on that.
Yeah.
I'm
sure there's something deep on that.
Absolutely. You can kill it with the silver bullet.
Right.
That's the only way it will die, but there is an alternative. If you don't want to or don't have the means of getting silver bullets, you can actually harness the power of the Kelpie by becoming its master.
Oh.
All you do is you get a horse saddle, walk on down to your local embroidery shop, have some square, stitch like some crosses on it. This is true. You have to have crosses on it. You throw it onto the Kelpie, and then at that point, you are now the Kelpie's master, and it has the strength of 10 horses and can do all of your farm work for you, which is the legend I heard.
I was going to say, is that all? But then I realized that's for a thing that fuses your flesh to it. That's a lot easier said than done, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, because, I guess you got to juke it, it could be like a bull kind of a deal where you're like the matador with it's a saddle and you kind of just egg it on and it comes after you and you juke it to the left and then maybe you could like pop it on top and then ride it like you're a rodeo clown for like 10 seconds.
Okay.
And then you're good to go. And then all of your Scottish farm work can be done for you at like 10 times the speed and power.
But if you fail and the juke does not go well, and you did mention earlier that Kelpies are pretty clever, so if they manage to outsmart you, you meet a miserable, horribly painful death and a very unritualistic dismemberment. Is that what that is when you lose your innards? I guess it's like dismemberment, but because the rest of you has been eaten.
Yeah, but Tasker, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. You know what I mean? So give it a shot, man.
Hey, we are here to motivate you. We are here to tell you if you want a Kelpie slave to do all of your yard work for you, you could do it.
Yeah. Get your ass off the couch, hop on a plane, go to Scotland, capture a Kelpie, let me know how it goes.
Yeah. Oh no, but what if it kills me? Well, don't let it kill you.
Yeah. Don't be be smarter than the Kelpie. Be smarter than a water horse, and then you can have one, okay? Stop doubting yourself.
Oh man. Yeah, I hope that helps you wherever you're at, be it in traffic or be it at work, Realize that some people are going for their dreams and jumping on a murder horse to try to do less chores.
Yeah, and what are you doing with your life? Sitting in traffic on your way to work and shit like the rest of us. You could be in Scotland right now.
Oh, maybe someday.
Yeah, exactly. An interesting note, according to some legends, Kelpies are benevolent and seek human companionship.
Oh,
isn't that sweet?
That's so adorable. They're lonely.
So there are regions of Scotland that believe the Kelpie is just looking for some dick.
Wait, what? That kind of companionship?
Of course.
Oh, I thought you meant they wanted friendship.
No,
just like the My Little Pony.
Oh boy. No, companionship. They said companionship on all the things that I read, basically meaning they wanted to get their dick well. You know what I mean?
But they turn into dudes a lot, right?
Okay, it can go either way. So like they're either looking for dick or they're looking for vagina.
Well, that's, good for them. They're progressive. They do what they want, and they don't judge each other because at the end of the day, they're just trying to get some food and some poontang.
I sure hope this is real. I really hope that this is the true legend of the Kelpie and not the one that we talked about previously where they're killing people and eating them.
Right. See, this is the perfect world, like the perfect world scenario that Kelpies are just lonely horses. They're dragging you under because they want you involved, in their lifestyle, and they just kind of forgot that we can't breathe water, and we're not mythical.
But the interesting thing about these types of Kelpies is they won't drag you down to the depths of a loch, but they will take a human form and try and assimilate into human culture.
Right. I keep forgetting they shapeshift. So,
but it's weird, right? Think about it. So but can you imagine, dude, like a Kelpie woman? Because remember, they're always wet.
Oh my God.
If you know what I mean.
Well, if you're looking for advantages of dating a supernatural human eater, that's something to consider.
Hey, I'm just throwing ideas out there.
Yeah, we're trying to be as non-biased as possible, giving both the pros and the cons.
Welcome to the midnight edition of Close Encounters of the Podcast Kind.
Oh yeah, we're gonna pair you up with your right supernatural creature.
But the only problem is if this actually works and they are assimilating into human culture in Scotland, that means that there are a bunch of halfling Kelpies running around in Scotland right now, which would explain a lot about Scotland.
Really?
Not that I have anything against Scotland.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like one of those targets, you know. It's just like
in America, especially, like it's the accent, really.
It's the accent. I
Yeah.
mean, don't get me wrong. I fucking love this accent. I love it a wee bit too much.
Well, yeah, because the American accent is a lot like it's kind of boring.
It's absolutely boring.
Yeah. Whereas the Scottish accent, Irish accent, I think that's also why Americans are so enthralled by any accent in Europe is because it's a lot more rhythmic. It has a lot more of a polish to it, whereas the American accent just sort of is just like da, da, ba, ba, da, ba, da, ba, da.
And yes, and I think it's all subjective though, you know, because
True.
I mean, to the Scottish, maybe their accents are really boring to them too, just because they're like. I mean, it's probably because we all hear our own accents every day.
Yeah, so to us, our accents is just talking.
That's just talking, and for them, it's probably the same. Anyway, they do. It's a lovely place. It's a lovely accent. I'm sorry if I offended anybody with my stupid jokes.
Scotland is a gorgeous country,
Filled with backwards people.
and amazing Scotch.
Okay, good Scotch. I'll give you guys that much. The Scotch, and I like those games you have with like where you do the log tosses.
Oh,
And,
you would actually love that, the caber toss. And
yeah, that sounds incredible, man. That's some manly shit.
It's a bunch of buff dudes in skirts
Oh, I'm super into that.
getting their Kelpie wives
Oh God, y'all.
or husbands, you know.
Whatever. We're progressive.
Yeah. Oh, we're so going off the air.
All right. So one last thing we want to talk about with the Kelpie is that every loch and river of Scotland is known to have a Kelpie legend, but a majority of them take place at Loch Ness. Unsurprisingly, right?
Mm-hmm.
There has been speculation that the sightings of Nessie or the Loch Ness monster, which I want to do, of course, we have to do like at least a 2-parter on one day.
Yeah, that's something. That's a big one. The Loch Ness.
That's a big one. That's a big daddy of a cryptid that we need to cover. I mean, it's been covered 1,000 times, but
Yeah.
You know what? 1,001.
Yeah, why not? You
Fuck
know.
it.
Yeah, I'm in.
And this is due to some of the sightings at Loch Ness being of a creature equine in nature. So it's like a horse type
horse-like
creature in Loch Ness. Like that one famous photo of the Loch Ness monster.
Right, the really blurry one.
The really blurry one that's
Like all of them.
maybe hey, whoa, buddy, hold on. Save this for the episode, man. Save it for the Loch Ness episode.
Uh-huh.
You know, keep that pistol in your pants, buddy.
Fine.
A lot of people say that they see some kind of horse-like creature in Loch Ness, and that has attributed to sightings and legends of the Kelpie. So I think that there's something going on there. I think that there's something, whether it's a Kelpie, whether it's a plesiosaur, some kind of Loch Ness monster, there's definitely something in Loch Ness. I firmly believe that is tripping up people and making them see something that shouldn't be there. But that's definitely a story for another time. But I think it definitely ties into the Kelpie legend.
But I also think there's something in my garage that's messing with the house, which segues we into my favorite poorly introduced segment.
There is something in your garage.
Yeah, but this is why it's bullshit. Of course, it's not real, but also, too, how do we know this wasn't just a botched murder attempt or a way that people were able to cover things up? Or, you know, maybe they just got pulled down by just another sea creature. There's a lot of things under the water that can kill you and give you a horrible death. And maybe, I don't know, they like wet themselves and it was really embarrassing and they came up with a story and a folklore that just kind of went out of hand. And then when the Nessie thing happened, it got even worse. Or I don't know, it was a precursor to My Little Pony. And, you know, they're just trying to make some money off of merchandise.
This is the second time you've brought up My Little Pony in this episode.
I know, I'm worried for myself.
No, you're right. And you know what? This is one of those episodes where it's definitely about folklore. And it's definitely a tale to tell your kids to keep them away from bodies of water. And it was used that way in the past.
Okay, so yeah, it's like Boogeyman, like all that stuff. It's to teach your children, don't go in the water. They're going to get you. And because when you're 3 years old, 4 years old, and like we touched on before, you don't know what can hurt and or kill you. And what better way than explaining, scientifically than just by saying, well, there's a monster down there that's going to drown you and you're going to die a horrible, painful death. And then, then they're too afraid to swim until their 20s.
Yeah, and then they never learn how to swim.
Yeah.
And then whose fault is that? It's the parents' fault. So when they're at a party, everybody's drinking, everybody's in the pool, and then your lame-ass son is hanging out on the side of the... Oh, man, I really wish that I could swim. Whose fault is that?
And if you actually do not know how to swim, I'd highly encourage taking lessons. Bite the bullet. It's going to help you and save you one day.
Yeah, maybe you can outswim the Kelpie.
Yeah, exactly.
But yes, it was used as like a little scary tale to tell your kids. It was also in the origin of the legend of the Kelpie, most likely arose from ancient human sacrifices that used to take place to appease water gods from the ancient Celtics. It's not 100% solidified, but there's some speculation about that from historians.
Which makes sense, because we see that a lot with the human sacrifice, with the removal of entrails, the kind of the ritualistic nature of it.
Yeah, exactly. It's an interesting topic. I firmly believe that there is something in bodies of water that we can't see on a day-to-day basis. I don't know if it's a Kelpie. I don't know what kind of creature it is, but I think I know that this is just folklore, but I firmly believe that there's something in the water.
Yeah, I don't know the exact number, but there was something like 40 or something % of the ocean actually is still completely unexplored.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's actually, I'm skeptical to help myself sleep at night. It's literally, I'm not passionate in that sense at all of just trying to prove it's right. I tell myself it's all fake so I can go to bed. But there is a lot of the ocean that has been unexplored, and that is kind of freaky to know that we're all playing in that in the summer.
That's why I don't go in the water. So when I was talking about that kid at the party who hangs out on that hangs out on the sidelines, I'm just, you know what? Yeah, I'm a little bit bitter about it.
Sipping your White Claw.
Man, I wish I could go in the water, but the fucking Kelpie wants to rape me.
Oh no, you don't want that. Oh wow. Well, I'm glad we can get some progress.
But yeah, that is the Kelpie. That is the Scottish Kelpie. One of the only things that actually freaks me out in the cryptid/folklore world is this, and I'm really glad we were able to cover it.
Yeah, short, sweet, to the point. We were able to kind of help you to learn how to defend yourself and all that good stuff. And yeah, who wants to be drowned at all in any way, shape, and form? And by the way, just as a little quick PSA, drowning is actually a very quiet way to die. People think that when you're drowning, you're actually splashing around like crazy. But when somebody's drowning, it's actually when they're not moving. That's when you got to be worried. Yeah,
so if you ever see anybody not moving, give them a little nudge.
Yeah, just be like, hey, dude, they're not going to hate you if you're just like, hey, bro. And they're like, sorry, I was just floating. And it's like, oh, I wanted to make sure you weren't dead. I'm sure you can still be the star of the party, even while checking on people in the pool, after they've had 1 or 2, 3,000 White Claws.
And if they do respond, just take their head and just shove them down a little bit. Just shove them down in the water a little bit.
Especially if they have horse hooves and seaweed in their hair.
Yeah. Then fight fire with fire, drown the Kelpie.
Or put the bridle on it and keep it as your own. And then now you have a little manservant.
I already have a manservant. I'm good.
Oh, geez. I do not even want to get into the legal questioning that needs to happen about that. But yeah, that's everything, I think. We just have a couple little announcements. We are now our 4th episode, so I think we can start trying to get onto iTunes right now. So that's you might actually be listening to this on iTunes, in which case we were successful.
Yes. So if our absurd comments and racist accents don't get us banned from iTunes, you might be listening to us there.
Yeah, or on some sketchy streaming website.
Yeah, like what is that? That music player from Dr. Dre or whoever.
Oh, Tidal.
Is that Jay-Z's or something?
I'm not sure. I think Kanye was involved with that one.
Oh, it's one of those guys.
Yeah,
we'll be on there.
That. Yeah.
We also have social media now.
Yeah, we have an Instagram, CEOTPK, which of course, Close Encounters of the Podcast Kind, abbreviated. And on Twitter, it is at CEOTPK at the same time.
Yep, we're just going to update on there whenever a new episode comes out, whenever we see random shit that has to do with cryptids or creepy shit or ghosts, anything like that. We'll just kind of be posting on there. So go ahead and give those a follow if you want to check those out.
Yeah, if you want to stay in touch, see how we're doing, check out our resumes or something like that.
Yeah, maybe I'm looking for a job. So, you know.
So we can buy even better equipment.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's it, guys. Thank you guys so much for indulging us on this episode. I know it's kind of like more of like an older folklore tale one, but this is one that I really wanted to do. And thank you for coming along on the ride.
Yeah, and we will definitely see you next time. Stay safe.
I'll talk to you later.
Oh boy, bye.